One of the bills that ultimately failed this past session had to do with taxpayer-funded lobbying, all right? There were some appropriations made, some additions made where it only affected counties with 250,000 residents or more, but it still ultimately failed. So they said in Austin that it was okay for municipalities and counties to take your money and then give that money to lobbyists to go down in Austin and lobby for pro-municipal, pro-county, anti-taxpayer initiatives. One of those examples, that came up in the last legislative session, last two legislative sessions, was forced annexation. Remember that? That actually got passed. And once again, it was chiseled out where, let's say, Copper Stove wanted to annex some land outside the city. Well, usually there's a city council meeting, it gets adopted, and that's all there is to it. With this legislation, if it wouldn't have been made just for larger counties, what would have happened is you would be asked to go to the polls and vote whether or not you want to be annexed or not. You actually get to say if your taxes are going to go up or not, right? So the question is, what are your thoughts about this bill that fell that would have ended taxpayer-funded lobbying? And what would you have done?
I was in favor of the bill. Basically what it comes down to, Cliff Notes version of that, is taxpayer reform has been a huge issue for all of us. Property taxes are out of control, people are overburdened by it. But what happens is our municipalities, our counties, are able to hire lobbyists to go down and fight against the very tax reform that people so desperately want. So our tax dollars are being used against us down in Austin. Now it's a little bit of a touchy issue because our commissioners don't have the ability to go down and spend the whole session down in Austin. But that state rep ought to be actively engaged with our communities about the taxpayer relief that we need out here. They shouldn't have to hire a lobbyist to go down there and do that for them. I am very much in favor of taxpayer-funded lobbying reform for that reason. But I'll also tell you, I've sat down there a lot during the session, and I watched as that bill developed over in the House, and I watched as our state rep voted against that bill for counties of the size and population that are in this district. That was really frustrating. Now, ultimately, the whole bill fell apart anyway. But before that happened, our rep was voting against us.
The first thing I would do, and I'm in the process of doing it now, is I've met with the different entities in our district, from the superintendents of our schools to some of the sheriffs to a bunch of the commissioners. I'm actually going to have roundtable forums where I meet with them on a regular basis. The educators, for instance, I will never know as much about education as they do, but I'm a good listener and a good learner. But if I have all of them in my district that are telling me what they need, what we do, then we can take to them. But I do not like the fact that the taxpayers are having to spend on the lobbyists. But we have to get real and get back to the people. That's what we haven't had for many years, is the special interest. A lot of this goes back to the special interest. When they're taking special interest money, they can't make the decisions that they need, that are right or what's best for the district. It's what's best, what they were told to do. That's how come I never took any special interest money, because I refused to be one of the ones that was sitting at my desk and somebody come by and throw a bill down and say, here, this is how it's going to be. It's not going to be that way. This is about y'all, the people, because we're all the same, y'all. But we have to stand up and take our government back, and we do that by standing together and doing the right thing. Thank you.
As I remember this occurring and taking place, this bill in question was very important to the governor and to the Speaker of the House. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when there's a bill out there that the governor says, this bill is important to me, and the Speaker says, this bill is important to me, you better believe it's really important to them. And they expect something to happen on that bill. So what we did, we rural guys got together and put an amendment in there that took out our counties. Took out, I think it was 220 something counties, and left only the huge counties in there, like Harris County, Dallas, Fort Worth, those big guys. And we said, you guys can go fight it out like you want. Our county is out of this. We don't have a fight in this anymore. And then I think that bill just died on the vine because everybody realized it was a bad bill to begin with. But we took care of our own first.